live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening and welcome to the National News broadcast, bringing to you live from the National News Studios here at the ChannelEye Rupavahini Corporation. We're ready to bring you the top stories here at home and around the world. I'm Charita and joining with me today is Natalia Veeravardhana. Four ministers have been appointed till the setting up of a comprehensive cabinet of ministers. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna is to extend support to the new Prime Minister. The Prime Minister tells the BBC of a systematic plan to receive the support of IMF and friendly countries to overcome the economic crisis. Exchange of letters between the Prime Minister and the opposition leader. Heavy rainfall in several areas in the island. 1,500 persons have been displaced in disasters occurred in Ratnapura. The country prepares to commemorate the Vesak festival. 27 persons have been killed in a fire at an office building in New Delhi, India. On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with top local story. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has appointed 4 ministers this afternoon. The newly appointed ministers will engage in the maintenance of duties in a stable and legal manner until the appointment of a full cabinet of ministers. The swearing in of ministers before the president has taken place at the president's office in Fort Colombo. Accordingly, Professor G.L. Pires has been appointed as the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Dinesh Gunawardena has also been appointed as the Minister of Public Administration, Home Affairs, Provincial Councils and Local Government. Prasanna Ranatunga took oaths as the Minister of Urban Development and Housing. Kanchana Wijayasekara is the new Minister of Power and Energy. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna has decided to extend supports to the Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe.
The decision has been taken at a special discussion with President Gotabaya Rajapaksa today. The group of parliamentarians representing the SLPP has attended the meeting at the President's house in Fort this morning. General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Parliamentarian Sagara Karyavasam said that people do not have enough food. Gas cylinders are not available. There is no fuel for the vehicles. Daily power cuts of between 4 to 5 hours for the residents. And the parliamentarian added that even amidst these economic difficulties, opposition politicians are engaged in petty politics. This is the reason for the country falling into an abyss day by day. Parliamentarian Karyavasam added that therefore we as Sri Lankans must decide to overcome party differences and join hands at this critical moment. A stable government will have to be established to resolve the economic problem. He added that thereafter the country would be able to move forward.
And meanwhile, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has called on foreign ambassadors and high commissioners in Sri Lanka and discussed on the current economic and political situation in the country. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has made a request from the foreign envoys to extend support to Sri Lanka to overcome its economic challenges. A special feature has been that the Prime Minister has conducted talks with ambassadors and high commissioners representing all regions in the world. Accordingly, he has conducted talks with ambassadors Woon Jin-yong of South Korea, Eric Laventure of France, Rita Manila of Italy, Trine J. Escadel of Norway, Congreve of the Netherlands, Dennis Scheibe of the European Union, Holger L. Serbert of Germany, Dominic Fergler of Switzerland, David Holly of Australia, David McKinnon of Canada, Michelle Appleton of New Zealand, Yuri Materli of Russia, Tarek Afru Islam of Bangladesh, Dr. Victoria Chaudhary of Romania, and Lisa and Von Stoll of the United Kingdom. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said that talks were conducted with ambassadors and representatives of several friendly countries yesterday as well. He added that the responses have been extremely conducive. He further said that they have to engage in further discussions and by informing the present situation. Measures have also been taken to enter into further agreements with countries such as India. He has also said that it would take 2 to 3 months to complete work. The Prime Minister also said that there is a responsibility of middle and long-term future of the country turning better after these talks. The Prime Minister also said that evaluations have been carried out on the fuel and fertilizer situation. The most difficult period would dawn in the next few weeks. He said that he is hoping to talk on this issue tomorrow. He further said that he believes that he would be able to overcome the crisis through joint action. A youth voice has arisen due to the economic crisis. The symbol of the youth was represented through the Gota Gogama protest. The Premier further said that they will not evacuate the Gota Gogama and there has appointed Ruwan Vijayawardena to safeguard the protest site. He has also taken the assistance in this regard of the Colombo Municipal Council, the Mayor and with the representatives of the Urban Development Authority which is in charge of the location of the protest site. The Prime Minister added that they are also conducting talks with the representatives of the Health Ministry, the police and the 3 armed forces to take necessary measures to safeguard the area.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe says a systematic plan will be implemented with the support of the International Monetary Fund and friendly countries in order to come out of the protest economic crisis.
The Prime Minister further says that they are compelled to print currency notes in reluctance in order to pay the salaries of government employees at the challenging moment, and he has made these remarks in an interview with the BBC Sinhala service.
I met a mother of 6 yesterday called Priyanthi, queuing just to get 2 pieces of bread as a handout here in Colombo, and she asked me what difference you, as a new Prime Minister, could make to her life. What would you say to Priyanthi?
I believe that people should have 3 meals a day. When I've been Prime Minister on early occasions, I ensured that. And I will ensure that they will have 3 meals a day again. It's a challenge, but I am going to meet that challenge and overcome it.
What's the first thing you're going to do in your new job to make sure that happens?
First is to find out how bad the economy is. No one has got all the details. So I will be like a doctor who's opening up the patient for the first time. But I know there are issues. We've got to deal with the IMF. We've got to find money to get through this year. And I'm also speaking to friendly nations to come and assist us with bridging finance. But we've also got to create an atmosphere for foreign investment.
There are reports that Sri Lanka is running out of fuel and there are only days left. How much is left?
I will know by today evening how much is left. I don't think it's much.
So what can you say to all the people that we passed on the way here queuing up to get petrol?
I will have to have some scheme of rationing this time. So we've got to get assistance. We're talking with India and ensure that there's fuel available in Sri Lanka.
Is India the best hope at the moment in terms of getting that international help?
Yes, India has been helping us, but we'll talk to the others, to Japan, to South Korea.
You yourself said a month ago that resources are running out.
Yes.
This is your opportunity to be straight with the people of Sri Lanka. How much worse could it get?
It is going to get worse before it gets better. So I am looking for all the details that I could tell the people of Sri Lanka, this is the position, and this is what we are planning to do in the coming months. I will somehow ensure there's sufficient food, fuel and medicine available.
And how? How will you do that?
We'll have to look for help from outside and talk to them.
If you don't get the help from India, Japan or other countries that you haven't mentioned, then you're saying that there could be a hunger crisis by the summer.
There won't be a hunger crisis. Somehow we'll find food.
Somehow, but how if you don't get enough funds?
After I speak to them, there will be help coming from there. They won't allow people to starve.
The protesters at Gogota village, the other thing they keep saying is that they still want President Gotabaya Rajapaksa to quit.
Yeah.
Why did you agree to serve alongside him?
Prime Minister is elected by Parliament, and members of Parliament on both sides wanted me to be Prime Minister to tackle the economic situation.
So how are you going to change the course then? Because there are a number of policies that people agree were a failure of the Rajapaksa government.
I am going to change many other policies of the Rajapaksa government.
You say that you're going to look at the books, figure things out, and...
I am not going to look at the books. I want to see how bad the situation is, how the real economy is functioning, how the what is left there in the central bank. I am not looking at the books. I know the books are cooked. I can't look at it at the moment. But what the economy is, I will. If you understand, one is the monetary side of it. But okay, we are now dealing with the IMF on the monetary side. But the real economy is not functioning.
What's the timeline for you to turn things round? What would you say to the people of Sri Lanka?
I will tell them, be patient, but gradually I will bring it back.
If we had to have a rough timeline, are you saying by the end
I'm
of
not
this
giving,
year?
I will tell you once I settle the thing and I speak to the other countries, I'll let you know.
And is there any other message you have for the world? You've just taken on a very challenging job. What would your message be to people watching this around the world as well?
We are getting back on our feet. We need your assistance for a year. Whatever we get from you, we'll repay, certainly. And help us to do it. We are the longest and the oldest democracy in Asia.
And the opposition leader Sajith Premadasa has forwarded a letter to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa yesterday.
This was in response to the letter sent to him by the President on the 12th of this month.
Dear President, I write in response to your letter dated 12th May 2022. First of all, I have to remind you that I have not expressed any unwillingness to assume duties as Prime Minister when you had invited me to do so. I had stated on that occasion that I would inform my decision after conducting discussions with the Samagi Janabalawege and parliamentarians of the Samagi Janabalawege in this connection, as I was interested in taking over the portfolio of the Prime Minister subjected to conditions, and this JB and its parliamentarians also expressed agreement in this regard. A delegation representing myself has met you and clarified on our position. In subsequent discussions, it had not been possible to enter into a final agreement. However, an agreement had been reached for continuous discussions between you and myself and delegations representing the two parties. Accordingly, several rounds of communications had been exchanged between the two groups. Certain proposals of mine were handed over to you representatives. Therefore, I had stated for the first occasion on my willingness to assume duties in the post of Prime Minister on the 12th of May 2022, and therefore your statement in this connection was totally false. I had thoroughly reiterated that I was willing to assume prime ministerial duties subjected to several conditions. One of these conditions was that you should resign from the post of the President. The strongest reason for making such a request had been the public opinion that has arisen throughout the country that you should leave presidency. The opinion of myself and Samagi Janabalawege is that you arriving on a program enabling you to stay in power indefinitely in an attack on people's supremacy. My letter dated 12th May 2022 had proposed that you should relinquish the post of president within a reasonable period of time, subjected to the conditions. I inform you that not a single member of the Samagi Janabalawege will not be included in the cabinet of ministers you are hoping to establish against the people's opinion. I am fully committed to serve the people as Prime Minister in a government formed by myself under the conditions stipulated by my letter sent to you dated 12th May of 2022.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has sent a letter to opposition leader Sajith Premadasa.
And the letter was reported to have mentioned facts regarding setting up of a non-party government. The letter forwarded by the Prime Minister states that Sri Lanka is facing massive crisis at this moment. He has reiterated that all must join hands to create a stable economy by ending the crisis. It is a historical responsibility to safeguard the future generation. The Prime Minister has further stated that he has accepted the post of Prime Minister with the intention of fulfilling the people's expectations by diverting the country on a new political path through the establishment of a non-party government. In order to do so, the cooperation of all parties representing parliamentarians is necessary. The Prime Minister has invited the Samagi Janabalawege to get together in this collective effort to stabilize the status of the country. He has called in a national responsibility. The Prime Minister in his letter has further stated that he is hoping a positive response from the opposition leader to his request. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa, in a reply letter to the Prime Minister, said a solution to the existing economic and political crisis should be found by respecting the public opinion. The opposition leader in his letter further reiterated the discussions have been conducted with all political parties on all-party program to overcome the present challenges. Sajith Premadasa has also recalled the letter he has directed to the President, stating that there has not been any change in the stance of the Samagi Janabalawege in this regard. The letter sent under the signature of Sajith Premadasa further says that they as a position will extend their support for correct decisions to be taken at this moment to resolve the people's problems. And meanwhile, the Samagi Janabalawege says no consideration has been given on the parliamentary majority when appointing Ranil Wickremesinghe to the post of Prime Minister.
Legal Secretary, President's Counsel Vesak says this appointment is against civility and also unconstitutional. Legal Secretary of the SJB, President's Counsel Vesak said that there should be political stability in the government, that he is preparing to create economic stability in the country. He added that the SJB was preparing to take over power and to create an interim and non-party government with the agreement of all parties. Even amid such developments, Ranil Wickremesinghe, who has only one seat in Parliament, has entered from the back door and was sworn in as the Prime Minister. He added that this appointment is uncivilized and unconstitutional violation of the law of the country. The President's Counsel Vijay Gunawardena also said neither the President nor the Prime Minister has conducted talks with other political parties prior to the appointment. He has questioned that under such circumstances, how could the President say that Ranil Wickremesinghe enjoys a higher confidence of the parliamentarians?
And meanwhile, a meeting between the US Ambassador in Sri Lanka, Ms. Julie Chung, and the leader of the Janatha Vimukti Peramuna, Anurukumar Dissanayake, has taken place today. It was conducted at the JVP headquarters in Palavath, Battaramulla. The meeting has focused attention on the present political situation in this country and the economic crisis. Propaganda Secretary of the JVP, Vijitha Herath, was also present on this occasion. And meanwhile, the Department of Meteorology predicts further rainfall in the southwestern part of the island.
And accordingly, intermittent or thunder showers will experience in the western, Sabaragamu, central and northwestern provinces and also in the districts of the Galle and Matara.
The meteorology reports adds that there is a probability of having rainfall exceeding 150 millimeters in the Sabaragamu province and also in some locations in the Kandy and Nuwara Elia districts. Some places in the Galle and Matara district may receive rainfall exceeding 100 millimeters. Several rounds of rainfalls are also expected in Anuradhapura and Hambantota districts. The department also requests the general public to take the necessary precautions to minimize accidents that may occur due to the thunder and lightning as well as strong temporary winds at times of heavy rainfall. Two sluice gates of the Kukulegang Reservoir has been opened, releasing 250 cubic meters of water in a second. As a result, several lowlands and roads in the Bulat Sinhala area have come underwater. Vehicle transport have come to a complete standstill on the Bulat Sinhala Mulkavu main road due to the inundations in 3 locations. Heavy foggy and windy conditions have been reported in Hewahata and Altuta in the Central Highlands. Residents say that vehicle traffic has been obstructed due to the several roads coming underwater. Overflowing of water has been reported from the Giritale Reservoir, which has a water capacity of 21,600 acre-feet. Flood threats have also been reported from several divisional secretariat divisions in the Ratnapura district. The Disaster Management Centre says 1,492 persons from 732 families have been displaced. 63 partial destructions of houses and 3 property damages have also been reported. Floods have also been created, causing damages to several houses in Devale Gavagrama Seva division. The residents have been also relocated in several places. Our correspondent says boats and barges have been kept in readiness to face any disaster situation. Our correspondent further says that several roads and lowline areas have come underwater due to the overflowing of the Kirimarama Oya, which is a tributary of the Nilwala River. As a result of the Siambalagoda Road in Panadugama, Kimburupitia and the Bulutiana have also been inundated. It has also been reported that a pandal under construction in Fort Colombo was damaged due to strong winds and showers occurred this afternoon. The Vesak full moon Poe Day, which commemorates the birth, enlightenment and the great passing away of Lord Buddha, falls tomorrow.
The Buddhist devotees have been accorded the opportunity to celebrate the event, giving prominence to Pratipatti Puja after a period of 3 years. The devotees were seen preparing for the Vesak festival, even amidst the difficult situation prevailing in the country. Numerous features of Vesak decorations, including pandals, have been witnessed in the cities. Such a Vesak pandal is being set up in the Maharagama town. Our correspondents have also observed the general public arriving to purchase Vesak decorations. A pandal which was scheduled to be on display in Malambe in the year 2019 will be exhibited this year after a lapse of 3 years. It will be presented by the Malambe United Traders Association for the 11th occasion. A pandal will also be in display in the Dematagode town. People in Gampaha and Ganemulla are also eagerly waiting to commemorate the Vesak festival. The pandal set up at Sri Sugata Subhadraramaya in Galahitiava, Ganemulla will be open for public display from tomorrow. Temples in the Polonnaruwa district are being decorated for the Vesak festival. People in the other parts of the island are also getting ready to celebrate the event, giving prominence to Pratipatti and Amisa Pujas.
Parliamentarian Venerable Atulari Ratanathera says he will extend cooperation to Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe in Parliament. The Venerable Thera reiterates that politicians should not act with petty political ambitions at this moment. Venerable Atulari Ratanathera said that numerous criticism have been levelled against Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. However, he has accepted responsibility. He added that therefore we should stop criticizing him and give him to deal with the issues. The Venerable Thera further says that he will not accept any portfolios but will engage in fulfilling the responsibilities on behalf of the country. He has also a deep revival among the people is necessary to rescue the country. He added that they are hoping to present program in this regard. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe will function under the supervision of a national council. He also said that both the Prime Minister and the President must realize that not only the judiciary and legislature but the entire country remain awake to monitor these activities. If they try to do harmful acts to the masses, they will rise against such actions. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe is unable to function exceeding the parliamentary limits. He should act with great caution and also with a sound mind. Thera added that he should not act according to his own agendas. And the Public Utilities Commission says that there will be no power cuts tomorrow and the day after. Accordingly, power will not be discontinued tomorrow and the day after on the account of Vesak full moon Poi day. However, a 5-hour power cut is being conducted today. The Joint Trade Union Federation of the Ceylon Electricity Board has convened a media briefing today. Convener of the Ceylon Electricity Board Joint Trade Union Federation, Ranjlal Jayalal, has said that the entire power sector is facing a grave crisis at the moment. He added that Sri Lanka's diesel reserve has been almost fully depleted. There are no fuel in Muthrajavilla and Kolonnawa. Only 15,000 metric tons of fuel is available in Hambantota. There are speculations of ships arriving shortly in the country. There is also rumours regarding fuel supplying only to essential services. He further said that the CEB has still not been able to restore the power breakdowns. He added that the management of the electricity board has been entrusted upon the 3 armed forces and the CTB. He also said that currently heavy rainfall is being experienced in areas of hydroelectricity power generations. The board has not enough dollars to open letters of credit to purchase equipment needed for urgent maintenance activities. Even under such circumstances, officials and engineers have decided to go abroad for 14-day training, spending millions of dollars of money.
මේනකොට යම් ප්‍රමාණයකට ජල විදුලියෙන් විදුලිය ලබා දෙමින් තිබෙනවා. ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ රට ඇතුළේ තියෙන විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලයේ බරපතල අර්බුදයකට ගිය මොහොතක විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලයේ අභ්‍යන්තර තත්ත්වය මොකද්ද? අවශ්‍ය නඩත්තු කටයුතු සඳහා උපකරණ මිලදී ගන්න LC ඕපන් කරගන්න ඩොලර් නැහැ. එවැනි වටපිටාවක විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලයේ නිලධාරීන් ඉංජිනේරුවෝ සම්පේක්ෂණ විශේෂම ට්‍රාන්සන් ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එකේ රට යන්න තීරණය කරලා තිබෙනවා දවස් 14ක පුහුණුවකට ඩොලර් මිලියන ගාණක් වියදම් කළා. මේවා විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලයට ලැබෙන ආයෝජන නෙමෙයි.
Meanwhile, filling stations owners in the Vavuna district says although there is a shortage of diesel in the country and the district, petrol is being supplied abundantly. People in Hatton were seen queuing up at the purchase kerosene oil despite the inclement weather condition. Filling station owners say that they have not yet received kerosene oil stocks. Long queues have been observed at many filling stations in the Colombo district today as well. Filling stations without fuel were closed down. Similarly, long queues have been witnessed in the Anuradhapura district as well. Our correspondent have also observed how general public in Colombo and suburbs were languishing in long queues to obtain gas.
A fuel transporting train has derailed in a tunnel in Kansalagamuwa between the Rambukkana and Kadigamu railway station last night. The station master of the Rambukkana railway station says the derailment has obstructed train transport on the Colombo-Kandy railway line. The train, which has commenced journey to Peradeniya from Rambukkana around 11:30 last night, was subjected to a derailment in a slopey area near the Kansalagamuwa tunnel between Rambukkana and Kadigamuwa. The railway track was also damaged in the incident. The Railway Maintenance Division says it will take around 4 days to repair the railway track. The general public was seen arriving in towns to fulfill their daily requirements following the relaxation of the curfew at 6 a.m. today for a period of 12 hours.
And meanwhile, the curfew has been reimposed at 6 p.m. this evening and it will continue till 5 a.m. tomorrow. The Presidential Media Division informs that no person is granted permission to remain in a common highway, railroad, common park, playground or any other location or in the beach during the period of curfew without having a written permission authorized by a relevant official. The Department of Government Information says permission has been given to keep open pharmacies and private nursing homes during the period of the curfew. The police special task force in Buttula has been successful in arresting 5 persons who were engaged in digging treasures in the Buttula town along with the equipment used in the excavation. The suspects were said to have engaged in diggings in a sophisticated manner near a shop in Buttula town.
The Golf Fest protest in front of the Presidential Secretariat is being conducted for the 36th day today. People arriving from different parts of the island were engaged in protests last night as well in the midst of heavy rainfall. The general public have also watched films at the cinema hall set up at the protest site. Agitations were engaged in protest today as well. Protest in front of the temple trees has recommenced yesterday. Venerable Samantha Bhadrathera says all must get together, disregarding party differences at this moment, to resolve the crisis.
The Venerable Thera made these remarks participating in the Umandava program of the national television last night. Venerable Samantha Bhadrathera said that some groups had entered the Umandava temple agri-complex and create a panic situation during the recent clashes. He explained the reasons behind the attack. The Thera also said that Umandava also is against those holding views of clan-based politics. He also said that when they are implementing a program for the well-being of the society, a large group may extend support, but small opposition numbering 50 to 100 persons may stand against such actions. He has questioned whether the attack launched against Umandava was an outcome of the struggle. This is a fact that he has to be analyzed in a long-term basis. The struggle has been subjected to pollution. No clean opinions are emanating from the struggle. It has come under clutches of politicians. The political methodology has engulfed the struggle. The Venerable Thera also said that the agitations have become a prey of narrow-minded, selfish as well as uncivilized opinions of political strategies. The Venerable Thera also said that we must extend our support to Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe at this moment. This is not a time to act according to party lines. He added that there are fuel and gas queues spanning several kilometers. They are also engaging in party politics, will not have a country and a political stage as well. Therefore, he added that all must join hands to resolve the problems in the country. The strength of a person determined at a time of crisis. The best captain of a ship will have to be chosen at a time of a storm. Stay tuned for international news at the other side of this break.
Prima Kutumi, Bantamai.
And we are back with foreign news. Fire has swept through a 4-story office building in Delhi, killing at least 27 people and injuring at least 12, emergency services say. More than 70 people were in the building when the fire started, and police broke windows and used ropes to rescue people. Some 20 fire engines were used to put out the blaze in the west of India's capital. A short circuit is thought to have started the fire. Offering his condolences over the loss of lives, Prime Minister Narendra Modi promised of $2,580 to next of kin in compensation for each death. Meanwhile, the mayor of Kharkiv has told that the Russians have withdrawn from the Kharkiv city area in the direction of the Russian border. He says that Russian troops had only ever managed to enter a small part of the key northeastern city, once were not there for a long time. The Ukrainian military said that Russian troops are focused on withdrawing troops from the city of Kharkiv. Efforts focused on maintaining occupied positions and supply routes, the General Staff of the Armed Forces said. Russia's main goal is to establish full control over the territory of Donetsk, Luhansk and Kherson oblasts and ensure the stability of the land corridor with the temporarily occupied Ukrainian Crimea, it further said.